Hello everyone, welcome to Todo Tequila. This is Steady Eddy and I'm with Frank here today. We are going to taste test head to head Ocho Tequila Añejo and Siete Leguas Añejo. We're going to find out who the winner today is. So we're going to taste test these today, Frank. We're going to kind of pour ourselves a little bit and we're going to find ourselves a winner today of these two very high quality, well, mid quality, right? Mid quality, but upper echelon of tequila. What do you think?
Hey, you're cutting them a little bit short, man. I think that they are two high quality tequilas here, right? Maybe you're talking price point, and that's the good thing about these tequilas is that even though they might be a mid price point, that doesn't mean they're mid quality. They are really high quality. I haven't tried these two before, right? But I've had Ocho and other Siete Leguas tequilas before, and I'm really excited for these two, man.
All right, yeah, so am I. You know what? They do kind of represent good not really recognized names, but hopefully if you do come across these, we could find out for you here today. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be happy, and we're going to be able to recommend that they're worth your every dollar.
Hey, so let's can you share a little bit with the audience of what you know about Ocho and the Ocho brand?
Well, the Ocho brand is very interesting, right? So it is. I don't know if you've heard of Carlos Camarena, but he is a master distiller and very highly recognized. He's made he's won a lot of awards with his different tequilas. Their distillery is privately owned, called La Alteña in Jalisco, and they basically make different bottles of tequila. El Tapatío, Ocho, he has his own one, Camarena. So they have a few, and his dad, I'm not sure if he's, fifth generation or something like that, distiller, but they've been making tequila for a while, Frank. He's one of our favorites. His grandfather made is El Paradiso.
Yeah, and Ocho is a little bit unique, right? This one, if it's got a year on it, and not all tequilas have a vintage on it. So why do they have the year on there?
So right here, Tequila Ocho is unique in itself. Actually, I think it is the first, if not the only right now, that is a single estate. So all of the tequila that they use to make their tequila for this year is 18 from a single estate, all in one field. And so that is very unique because usually they just kind of bring in as much tequila as they can to make, and then they kind of mix it and distill it to try to make it however they want to taste.
So it's a lot like wine, right? You got the different vintages in wine coming from a specific estate, right? The single estate here with the tequila, and it really brings forth the terroir, right? The flavor of the agave, right? At that particular time.
Right, Frank. You get exactly what the terroir is of this particular tequila. So yeah, it does sounds good. It's one of the first, and again, Carlos Camarena with another partner from Europe that brought tequila to you. I'm not sure his last name, but his name was Tomas, and they started Tequila Ocho, and it's gotten a lot of awards, very reputable, and again, mid-price range tequila there.
Nice. Now, hey, tell us a little bit about the Siete Leguas.
And Siete Leguas, doing a little bit of research, is very interesting. I like the way you put it. Per an article I read on Forbes, what'd you put? The original Patron, based on what I just read, right? That basically Patron modeled their production off of Siete Leguas. They liked it. They knew how reputable it was, and their artisanal and old-fashioned tequila making, and this is what they try to duplicate. Although they much more mass production wise than Siete Leguas. Some of you may not have heard of it, but that's right. Patron basically modeled, from what I read on a Forbes article, modeled their tequila after this one right here, Siete Leguas.
Well, right on. I think we should get into tasting these, huh? Should we bust them open?
Let's bust them open, yeah.
Yeah, I'll open this one at the same time you open that one. All right.
All right. Well, salud.
Cheers.
Let's see what we have here. Tequila Ocho, Carlos Camarena, La Alteña.
Before going straight into sipping it, right? We like to look at it in the glass, see how it coats the glass a little bit.
The glass, the legs.
Yeah, get the aroma.
The color.
What are you getting on the nose there? This one is pretty subtle, actually.
Wow. Well, I got a little right away. Not a lot. Very, very subtle, but sweetness.
Yeah.
And not too forward of anything yet, Frank. I was expecting a little more agave and oak, given it's an añejo, but so far everything's subtle here. I'm having to search a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not alcohol forward either, right? I'm expecting it to be smooth and easy drinking. Definitely a sipping tequila. I'm getting a little more pepper now and earthiness.
Very light fruit on there. Maybe you know, I don't know, a hint of apple. Maybe a little bit of apple. Maybe light
Tad
apple.
citrusy apple, right? Sweet apple. What are those what are those called? Those granny apples?
Yeah, definitely green, right? Not the red one.
Right.
I think I'm gonna have to go in here.
Oh, you ready? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I right away. For those of you that like a tad sweet tequila, wow! I gotta say, this is your tequila right here.
That is good. It is a little bit sweeter, and you know maybe it's because you know that power of suggestion that we talk about, you know, in other times that you know maybe there's a little hint of that apple on there, a little bit of fruit.
That apple makes it. No, I'm not saying it's very sweet. It's not. I don't particularly. I think that sweetness when it is overpowers the agave and everything else. It's not that. I just didn't expect it to be sweet on the sweet side, and it is, but it's not too sweet.
Sometimes when you have the first sip, you know you got to get your palate used to it. So I got to go in again here.
Very nice, silky. You'll notice the difference of maybe some. They're not necessarily pricier, although this, just so you know, this is about $60. We try to make it as even as we could, so that right even playing field, and probably when you're at a bar or restaurant, they're going to probably pretty much charge you the same for these. So these are basically $60 is what we paid for these.
Well, you know this one I'm having a hard time pulling out some additional flavors. This one's got some. Yeah, it's a mysterious one to me actually.
It is mysterious. It's very light. Maybe it's just meant to be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I'm getting the agave now that I'm letting it rest on the
the
palate
agave's
for
there.
sure.
Actually,
right?
it's coming out more.
Yeah, it's coming forward.
A little bit of heat. Little bit of heat.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
It's not alcohol though. Like that pungent is just nice and interesting.
Yeah, I like the
This
finish.
is very
It's
nice, very interesting.
Nice and soft. Yeah.
And it's still soft.
It's not one that punches you right in the face, right? So yeah, that's good. If you want something a little bit more complex, something to think about, right? This is a good one.
So Frank, honestly, I mean, right? We're at a party. This is not something that would probably stand out in a cocktail like a margarita. It's just not. You're not going to get your money's worth.
I think it'll get a little bit overwhelmed, and you know, kind of, you know, in general, right? People drinking tequila, they tend to go for something a little sweeter, even sweeter than this. This is a subtle sweetness, right? Which is nice, which I personally prefer. But at a party, if you got a lot of people that are there, they're probably going for something a little bit more, even sweeter, even more forward, actually.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so just so you know, this is pretty much definitely a sipping tequila and relaxing and enjoying. And and the agave singing, it's like just building up. So you're gonna want to keep drinking this because it just has a very nice feel and burn. Just tad that just you're drinking a nice spirit, right? It's not flat.
And now it's got that earthy finish, right, that you get from a lot of tequilas, so that's good. This is definitely one that you want to, I think, let it reveal itself a little bit.
Take it slow, right?
Yeah.
Not one shot after another. Yeah, let me finish. I didn't finish mine.
No, I didn't finish mine either.
Salud. And look at the legs on that. Wow, nice. Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, it's very, very, very even, I think, across the board with your agave, your earthiness, the sweetness, tequila, and actually I think the oak, given añejo, the oak is actually under that.
Yeah, the oak mellows out the agave, the forwardness of the agave a little bit, I think, right? Yeah. Now I'm getting just a touch of the pepper too.
Well, that's funny you say that. So power of suggestion, guys, but you're right. I kind of was dancing over it, and I see that pepper there. The apples definitely was there. Actually, it's subsiding. Sweetness is subsiding, but it's still there.
But I love the subtle sweetness. It's kind of like, you know, sometimes the best dessert compliment you can give a dessert is that it's not too sweet, right? And to me, it's the same thing with these spirits. You don't want it to be too sweet.
It's not. Still good. All right, man. Well, I like it. I think it was worth every dollar so far.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's try this one then. The Siete Leguas.
Yep.
So check this one out. It looks like it's got a nice silky body here, right, in terms of how it coats the glass. On the nose, too, you know, it's not as forward as I would normally expect for an añejo. So I get a little bit, in comparison, a little bit more of the wood on there.
Some grassiness, earthiness.
Not
a lot of pepper.
No, not a lot of pepper. I don't get that much really citrus. There's a hint of caramel type of note there. Man, I'm gonna go.
You know what? That's like I wouldn't call it caramel. Yeah,
what is that?
I want to say, but just go out of my way. That's a little more subtle.
Is that like a butterscotch?
Butterscotch. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the agave's there, not alcohol, pungent or forward. Although of course you get it. It's still 80 proof. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right.
Cheers.
Salud. Well, it's nice. It's smooth as well.
It is smooth, but it's funny. I didn't really get alcohol on the nose. but I got a little bit of alcohol on the on that sip.
So the first thing that kind of my mind is that little bit of alcohol kick, a little more old school, a little more of what I remember tequilas having when a few years ago when I was a little younger.
Brings you back to taking some sips from the dad's liquor cabinet,
dad's
huh?
liquor cabinet. Yeah. Well, my dad used to like bringing out his tequila to the family before I could even drink, but I remember them enjoying. So once I did, I was able to share this experience with my dad, and I remember having some of those old tequilas. It's a little bit like that.
A little bit of a classic
A little bit of
taste,
a classic taste, exactly. I gotta tell you though, wow. So this, I know we're comparing it to Tequila Ocho here, but just to hint some of that, a little bit of classic old school tequila, like Don Julio and the Herradura. A little softer than that though, I think.
It's very soft, actually. I mean, I'm having a hard time pulling out some, like on the nose, I was having a hard time pulling some stuff out, and I'm having a hard time pulling some stuff out on the palate too.
Well, these are two very straightforward, I think. Again, I'm getting the agave, a little more oak, and that's butterscotch.
Yeah, I'm not getting as bold of an agave finish as I would have thought, though.
Well, that's I think for both of them, right? For añejo, it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. Don't get us wrong. It's nice. The finish is strong though with the agave, though, Frank.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting it now that on the second, third sip here. I got to say I had the Siete Leguas Blanco, and I really liked that a lot. I thought that was really good. Now, this añejo, to be honest, I mean, it's a little flat actually.
You finding it flat?
Yeah, it's a little flat to me, especially compared to other añejos that you might have.
It's a sipping tequila. It wouldn't hold up in the juice of a cocktail. Give it a margarita, paloma, anything, right? Because even some añejos you can put in an old fashioned. This wouldn't do it.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have. What's funny is that, hey, you ready to kind of make a call on which one is your favorite?
Well, yeah, I do. I think I do. And they're both very good, actually, I think. But just want to make it clear, guys, that these are sipping tequilas. So if you're within a group or you like to sip your tequilas and you want to drink a shot, maybe play cards, play poker, and then another shot, this would do it. Because you can take it nice and slow and you're still going to get enjoyment out of it. But if you're like taking shots and you want to just loosen up and have a cocktails one after another, well, these are still, make the party happy, right? Because it's 80 proof. But you're not going to get what you really want to get when you get the bottle. It's not that type of bottle where you're getting a lot of flavor in terms of, again, the agave and oak.
I'm getting a lot of the agave on the finish now, actually, now that we've let it rest a little bit.
But that's my point, though. You got to let it soak in, and I'm getting the agave as well.
Yeah.
Just both of these. I think the last thing I was getting was the agave, and that's why I love the tequila. That little toasted earthiness of the agave is just so appealing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unique, and then with just a little bit of alcohol and burn. With just enough oak, a little bit of sweetness, it's just delight, right? So that's what I think we're coming up with is these are sipping tequilas.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, these are both actually very good sipping tequilas. Now, if to me the Siete Leguas is a little bit more straightforward, right? It's going to tell you what it wants to tell you, right? And it's not going to mess around. It's going to say this is how I feel, and that's just the way that it is. And you get that right up front, and then you get that agave, that earthy finish. And then the Ocho, this one here is, like we said before, a little bit more mysterious, right? You've got to kind of dig in a little bit, I think, let it reveal itself a little bit. So
I think I would have surprised Frank with my decision.
They're both really good, but hey, if I'm putting in my vote right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with the Ocho. It does, like you said, depend on your mood. If, if I'm sharing this with maybe a group of people that aren't huge tequila drinkers, I might go with the Siete Leguas because it's a little bit more classic. But if it's just me by myself with Eddie here, right, we're sitting around, I'm probably going to go with the Ocho and try to, tease out some of more of those additional flavors out of the Ocho.
Yeah. Well, as you're speaking, I'm processing all my thoughts here, and I was going to go with Siete Leguas, Frank, but things have changed, times have changed, and I think in modern times, we have to step up our game. I really like the classicness of this Siete Leguas, and I would probably go ahead and prefer this one, but I gotta admit, I have to be objective here, and I have to tell the public probably what they're gonna like more, and I think their experience with other bottles and how the game's come up with tequila, right? Things have really come along. Tequila's come a long way. I think there's a little bit more complexity here. Cho did give us a little more complexity, a little more. I think the public does tend to go a little more sweeter. So I think Ocho does actually, a little more modernized. I don't know if that's the right word, right? But just so you kind of know if you've had tequila before versus classic and versus some of the newer tequila nuances, how tequila is trying to progress and has become one of the world's most popular drinks, and that's probably why. I think Ocho's kind of like along those lines.
Hey, so head to head, we've got the winner between Siete Leguas Añejo and Ocho, the 2018 Añejo, and the winner here, right, is the 2018 Tequila Ocho.
Here you go, guys. Here you have it. So we are here, Todo Tequila, and between the Siete Leguas Añejo and Ocho Tequila Ocho Añejo, we have our winner right here, Tequila Ocho, guys. Thank you for watching and viewing. Make sure you subscribe, follow us, hit the notification bell, and for the next view, we'll have something great again for you. Hopefully it's exciting, and hopefully we'll help you find your go-to tequila, right? So that you guys, when you're at the store, you know what to get, and you're going to have a good time. Thank you guys for joining us again. Until next time.
See you next time.